Once there was a boy named David. He was a shepherd boy, and his brothers were soldiers. They used to fight other armies. One day, the soldiers saw when they went to battle, they saw a big giant. The giant was Goliath. Goliath said, "If you can fight me, come and fight me." All the soldiers got scared. And then David's father said, "Go and give some bread to your brothers in the fight." So then David went to the battlefield, and then he saw Goliath, and he saw his brothers. They were very scared. They all ran back to hide. And then when they came back home, David said, I will fight the giant. I will fight the giant," said David. Then they all were laughing. "You are so small, you can't do anything. You can't even pick up our swords." And then David said, I'll fight Goliath, you see." The next day, David went to the king and said, "King, I will fight Goliath." Then the king said, "Are you sure? You're very small." Then Goliath said, Yes, King. God's spirit is within me. I can fight Goliath." Then the king told his soldiers that bring his armor and his shield. Then bring his armor and his sword. Then they put on his armor on David, and they gave him a sword. Then David said, "King, this is too heavy. I don't need your armor or your sword. God is my armor." And then that night, David picked up pebbles near the lakes. The next day, David went for battle. Then Goliath said, "Do any of you want to fight me?" Then David said, "I will fight you, Goliath." Then Goliath said, You are a little boy. I can defeat you easily. Now go home. I need real soldiers to fight." Then David said, "No, I can fight you. I can defeat you." Then Goliath got very angry. He ran towards David. David prayed, and then he slipped underneath him. And then when he slipped underneath, Goliath cut off his bag of pebbles. So then he ran and took the bag of pebbles, and then he put one pebble in his sling, and then he spinned it a lot, and then he threw the pebble towards Goliath. This pebble hit Goliath in the middle of his forehead. And then Goliath touched his forehead and saw that blood was leaking. So Goliath fell forward and hit the ground with a loud noise. And then David took Goliath's sword and cut off his head. Then everyone was shouting, David, 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 kill Goliath, David, kill Goliath.